Hello, dear students. I hope you all are doing well. In today's English class, we are going to read our next chapter of literature, lesson 5, that is Just Shoot. Let's find out what this shoot actually means. Does this mean shooting someone, or does this mean clicking pictures? Let's read the story and find it out. Before reading the chapter, look at these few things that are given in your picture. Look at these things, discuss in class which of these things you would need when setting out on an adventure trip and why. This story is basically an adventure trip of the author and his group members. They went to a jungle to see animals live. So, these pictures, while going for any adventure trip, we need such things, few things we take with us. That is, the first one is tent, the next one is sleeping bags, then first aid kit, then it is rope that we need, then cameras obviously for clicking pictures and creating memories, then water bottle, then torch, and then goggles, or we also call it shades. So let's read the story. This story is about a wildlife tour guide out on a trip with his group. Read on to find out what happens when things suddenly go out of control. The story is written by Peter Allison, and Peter Allison, along with his group, along with his friend and his group members, went on a trip, on a wildlife tour. Let's read the story. Spiro Bagu made his first polite request as we set out on our vehicle. I would like to film a lion killing something. Now, Spiro Bagu is saying to the author and his group members that today he made a very polite request that while they were setting out on the vehicle, while they were going on the vehicle, that I would like to film a lion killing something. That today I would like to see lion killing something from my eyes live. I would like to see that. We'll see, I said, as we started making our way to the camp. Now, the author is saying that, who is Peter Allison, he's saying that, okay, we'll see that. And they started making their way to the camp, where they have placed their camp. On every drive, Spiro Bagu tried to teach every animal how to pose. He grew frustrated when they did not understand him. Now, the author is saying that, the author is telling that on every drive, means whenever they went for any wildlife tour, Spiro Bagu, who was author's friend also and part of the group also, he tried to teach every animal how to pose because he was clicking pictures. And now you know from the very few lines in the beginning, we know that this shoot means clicking pictures because they like to click pictures of the animals live. So the author is telling that Spiro Bagu, he used to tell animals how to pose so that he can have good pictures. He grew frustrated. Frustrated means disappointed. He used to get disappointed if they did not understand him. On our last drive together, I saw fresh lion tracks on the dirt road we were using. I stepped out of the vehicle to take a better look. Now, the author is telling about his experience on the wildlife tour they are into now. On our last drive together means it was their last drive in that wildlife tour in whichsoever wildlife sanctuary they were. So it was the last drive of that wildlife tour. So what author noticed? He noticed that fresh lion tracks means footprints. He noticed the footprints on the dirt road they were using. The road they were using to go back on their last drive, he noticed fresh lion footprints on the road. I stepped out of the vehicle to take a better look. Now the author is saying that to take a better look on those footprints, I stepped out of the vehicle. Whatsoever vehicle in which he was sitting, he stepped out of that. Very new, only a few minutes old, I told the group. Following the tracks a little farther along the soft dust of the road, it's an adult female. No, two adult females. Now, the author he has come out from his vehicle and he's telling that these footprints are not very old. They're just few minutes old. Means the lion is somewhere here because the footprints are fresh. An author, he told his group, the narrator, he told his group that these footprints are just few minutes old. Following the tracks a little farther along the soft dust of the road. Now, by seeing the footprints, the narrator knew that it's an adult female. These are the footprints of adult female, not single adult female, but two. These are the footprints of two adult females. They have passed through that road few minutes earlier from them. I knew these lines. We were in the territory of Martina's bride, a group of only two adults. I suspected that one female had given birth to cubs recently. Now, the author is assuming because he is a wildlife tour guide, he is a guide, he knows everything about wildlife animals. So, what he said that I knew these lions. I know these lions, and we are in the territory of Martina's bride. Bride means a group of lions. Generally, there is a territory fixed for every 2 to 4 lions, and they live in that place only in wildlife sanctuaries. So, Martina is the name of the lion, and he said that this is the territory of Martina. I know this place. It is her place, and here are two adults are living. Two female adults are living here. And the narrator suspected that the female had given birth to cubs recently. And he thought that there might be some cubs also, babies of lions. To make sure the lions had not moved into the thick bush on my left, I walked a little farther. Now, the author is what? The narrator is following the footsteps of the lions, and he wants to see that if the lions are there or not. So he went farther. The lions had not moved into the thick bush on my left, and he's assuming from the footprints that they might not have on my left. They must have gone into the thick bush that is on his left side. I walked a little farther without thinking about how far I was going from the vehicle. Now, while following the footprints, the author didn't realize that he was going very farther from his vehicle. He didn't notice that the distance between his vehicle and him was growing farther and farther. I was hoping that the lions would be somewhere on the plains to my right. Now, following the footprints, the narrator is assuming that the lions might be on his right. Plains means the plain area that was on his right side, where it would be easier to spot them. Now, he is looking for the lions. He's finding the lions following their footprints. He's saying that it would be easy to spot them on the right side because it was quite plain there. Hey, I shouted back to the eager faces peering over the back of the open topped Land Rover. There are tracks of little cubs here. Now, the author is talking to his group members who are still on the vehicle. He's saying that because their faces are very eager. Eager means they want to know that what is actually happening because author has gone out of the vehicle, so they are eagerly seeing the author that what he's actually doing, if there are lions or not. So the narrator he shouted back to the eager faces, those were on the vehicle, peering over the back of the open topped Land Rover. Peering means they were looking very carefully at the author, that what he's doing, what footprints he's following. So they were eagerly seeing the narrator. Open topped. Open top means which is open from above. means their vehicle, that was Land Rover. It is a very tough vehicle which is usually used on rough tracks and cross country routes. Cross country routes means on the routes of cross country means village routes. If they have rough tracks, that vehicle is specially designed for those roads, and it is open topped. It was open from the above. So they were eagerly looking at the narrator that what he is doing. There are tracks of little cubs here. Now the narrator told them that there are tracks, there are footprints of little cubs also. Babies of lions, there are footprints of those also, cubs also. It looks like the cubs went this way. I pointed into the bush. Now, the narrator is still talking to his group that it looks like that the cubs went this way. Now he's pointing in a direction into the bush. There was a bush, and the narrator, he was pointing into that direction that it looks like the cubs went this way and the adults went this way, and pointing out to another direction that the adults went this way. I said, aiming my other arm out towards a termite mound. Termite mound, it's a small hill of mud made by insects similar to ants. They're not ants, but insects similar to ants. They make a kind of hill of mud for their dwelling, for their living. They make a hill of mud. So he pointed in the direction of that termite mound. He means the cubs are in the bush and the lions, they are behind that. Because how he could tell that? Following the footprints. Because the footprints were in those directions. Now what happened next? When I suddenly realized how stupid I was, the lions came at me. Now, because the narrator was following the footprints and he didn't realize that he was going farther and farther from his vehicle. And what he saw next? Two lions were standing in front of him. Getting between a lion and her cubs is as dangerous as crossing a busy road with your eyes and ears shut. Now, the author is comparing that what it is actually like, that he was actually coming between the lions and their cubs, that what it was like? It was very dangerous, as if you are crossing any busy road with your eyes and ears shut. Now the author was very, very terrified. I had just forgotten to look both ways. Now he's telling that, "Okay, I just forgot to look both ways." Means I should have looked at my vehicle also. While following the footprints, I should have seen the vehicle also, that it should not be so far from me. But now it was very late. Martina and her sister, who I had seen ripping other animals to pieces on several occasions, were coming at me. Now, what happened next? The narrator saw that Martina and her sister, because he already told us that there were two female lions, adult lions, Martina and her sister. They were coming at the narrator. Ripping means to tear. The author said that I had seen them ripping other animals to pieces on several occasions, and they were coming at the author now. I felt naked and cold. Now he was so terrified that he felt as if he was naked, and he was feeling that as if his body turned cold, so cold. I now remembered my training. But author, the narrator, he used his brain and he said that, but I remembered my training, that how when I became wildlife tour guide, how I was trained. I was remembering about my training now. My arms were already raised. He said that I raised my both the arms. You can see in the picture also, making me look bigger. Because he raised his arms, so he was looking bigger, more bigger. I faced the lions, showing that I had forward facing eyes like them. Now, he didn't lose control. He was terrified, no doubt, but he didn't show this to the lions. And What he showed? He said that I faced the lions and showed them that I also have forward looking eyes like them. And he was trying to make the lions terrified. And he wanted to show them that he also had forward facing eyes like them. This is meant to make them hesitate. Hesitate means to slow down or pause before doing something, to make someone slow down doing something. The narrator was doing all these things to make the lions hesitate because they were coming towards the narrator. They were not coming in the straight line at me, but were bouncing stiff legged from side to side, getting increasingly closer. Now, the narrator is telling us that how the lions were coming. They were not coming in the straight line. They were bouncing. Bouncing means active, means actively stiff. Stiff means not easily bent, means their legs were not easily bent and they were actively coming towards the narrator but not in a straight line. From side to side. They were coming from side to side and their distance was increasingly closer and they were increasingly getting closer to the narrator. This is an almost sure sign of a mock charge. What does it mean? Mock charge. It is a term that wildlife tour guides use. It's not a real attack, but an attempt to threaten or scare. Means they really didn't want to attack the narrator, but they just wanted to scare him. So it was almost sure sign that they didn't want to attack the narrator. They just wanted to make him scared, threaten him or scare him. I was relieved to know that the lions might not kill me. Though now the narrator was thinking so many things in his mind that how to tackle this situation, and he was thinking that he was relieved that he was feeling glad that something unpleasant will not happen, and the lions they might not kill him. They stopped about 7 meters from me and backed away. Now, the distance between the lions and the narrator was just 7 meters. And then the two lions, Martina and her sister, they stopped there and backed away. Backed away means they back out a little. The fur along their spine was erect, their faces twisted into snarls, and low growls filled the air. Now, you must have seen that lions are having a fur on their body. So, the fur which was on their body along their spine was erect. Spine means their backbone. Spine means backbone, and erect means alert, means the fur was very much alert. Like we get goosebumps, in the same way, it was like that. The fur on their body, on their backbone, was very much alert. Their faces twisted into snarls. Now, if you have ever seen on National Geographic channel that sometimes lions, when they growl, when they make sound, they twist their faces. So they were twisting their faces into snarls. Snarls means they were making it complicated because they wanted to scare the narrator. So they were doing all these things to scare the narrator. And low growls filled the air. Growls means they were speaking a very sharp sound of the lion, that is growl. So that was filling the air. I took a step back. Now, slowly, author took a step back. They came closer to me. Then they came closer to the narrator, the two lions. I gave a roar, but it was less than threatening. Now, what the narrator did next? He roared. He shouted he shouted. Roar means shout, to shout. But it was less than threatening. But it was not that much threatening. Threatening means to express danger. Roar means to shout with full force. So the narrator he shouted with full force, and but that was not that much dangerous. That was not that much threatening. They backed away, bellies low to the ground, their focus on me, mine on them. Now the narrator is telling us that they backed away. Again, they back out a little. bellies low to the ground. Bellies means stomach. Stomach of the lions, they were lower to the ground. Their focus on me, mine on them. Now, both the lions, Martina and her sister, their focus was fully on the narrator, and narrator's focus was on them. When they stopped, tails twitching, I took a step back again. Now, the lions, they stopped. They were focusing on the narrator, that what he's actually up to. So, tails twitching. Twitching means to move or pull with a sudden motion. They were twitching their tails. I took a step back again. Now, the narrator, he stepped back again. They charged. Now, they got charged. They were focusing on the narrator, that what he's actually doing. Every time they kept coming at me with a bouncing run, yellow fur and a fury of teeth, they backed off. Now, what the narrator was doing, he was using his brain, and he was slowly he was going back towards his vehicle. And slowly those lions, they were coming towards the narrator with a bouncing run. They were bouncing, they were actively running side to side with their yellow fur and fury of teeth, means showing anger, and their teeth were looking. Teeth bared means their teeth were visible, and they were expressing anger by growling. Snarl means to make it complicated sound they were making. And they were coming towards the narrator, and they were backing off also. When the narrator was backing off, they were also backing off. Backing off means to back out. They were also backing out a little. At the last time they backed off, I stepped closer to the vehicle. Now what happened? They backed off a little more, and the narrator, he was close to his vehicle now. Slowly he was very close to his vehicle, because he was also backing off. Suddenly they came straight. This is it, I thought, and I gave the only roar I have ever managed with menace in it. Now, what happened next? They were coming straight towards the narrator now. They were not backing off now, they were coming straight towards the narrator. This is it, I thought, and gave the only roar I have ever managed with menace in it. Now, the narrator said that what I managed to give a very threatening quality roar. Now I shouted with whatever voice I had, I shouted with it. And it was having threatening quality. It was so much threatening. My shout was so much threatening. I managed to do that. They didn't slow, and it took only a second before they were at me. Now, what happened? They didn't slow. The lions, they were not getting that what it's actually happening. So they didn't slow, and it only a second. And there was just time of second before they were at me. And they could have come at the author. But they, lions, ran straight past. Now, after listening to that threatening quality roar of the narrator, they ran away. Before I became aware that they were not going to hit me, the lions were ran straight past. Now the lions ran away, and the author could not understand that they were not actually hitting at him. They were not going to hit him. All that was left was their pungent odor as they headed for the cubs they had been protecting. Now, what was left only? Because after listening the threatening roar of the narrator, they backed off and they ran away. And what was left? Their pungent odor, a very strong smell that was very sharp and unpleasant. Which was not pleasant, only their smell was left. They were gone. As they headed for the cubs they had been protecting. Now they went for the cubs because they were protecting their babies. They were protecting their cubs. I wanted to sit down, but I continued slowly, shakily backing away. Now, the author had mixed feelings because he almost saw death, because the lions could have killed him. What he said, I wanted to sit down, but I continued slowly. I continued, I went to my vehicle, shakily backing away. Shakily means he was lacking stability. He felt that his body was not stable. Backing away, he was backing off towards his vehicle. At the vehicle, I finally turned. Now, when he reached towards his vehicle, he finally turned. Somehow, the entire group had squeezed into the back seat to watch. Now, his entire group was watching whatever was happening there. They squeezed. Squeezed means to exert pressure. With all the pressure they were having, they were sitting at the back seat and putting all the pressure on that, they were seeing whatever was happening there. Spiro Bagu had his video camera hanging loosely in his hand, lens cap on. Now, Spiro Bagu, who was Arthur's friend and who was also the part of the group, what his camera was hanging in his hand with the lens cap on. He looked very displeased and he was not very happy at all. He looked displeased. As I fell into my seat, wanting to cry, wanting to vomit, wanting to laugh and scream, he spoke. I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to get that the first time. Would you mind doing it again? Now, what this means? When the author was there on his vehicle, I fell into my seat. He just fell into his seat and he said that I wanted to cry. He wanted to cry, he wanted to vomit. Means he was having so many emotions at that time. Wanting to laugh, he wanted to laugh also. He wanted to scream also. And at this, Spirubagu, what he said? He spoke, I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to get that the first time. Whatever you did now, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it, that what actually it was happening. So I didn't get it in the first time. Would you mind doing it again? Now the Spirubagu, he's having a joke with the author that would you mind doing it again? Whatever you did, will you do it again? You have saved your life. Would you mind doing it again? So at this note, the chapter has ended. It was written by Peter Ellison. He is an Australian author whose books focus mainly on his experiences as a safari guide in Africa and South America. He currently lives in Cape Town with his family. His book, Whatever You Do, Don't Run, became a bestseller in 2008. So, this was all about the story. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section or you can ask me. Thank you for watching. For more videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.